With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin. Ground broke on a $4.1 million upgrade to the Hyannis water system this Tuesday. A ceremony was held at the Straightway Water Treatment Plant. Director of Public Works Mark Ells served as Master of Ceremonies.
This is part of our master capital plan. This was a prioritized project for us to be able to move forward with the construction of these water storage tanks, both for fire flow and equalization of pressures within our system. We've been very fortunate from a funding standpoint, both to have mitigation funds and an actual donation from the LaRusso Foundation in support of the project, as well as state revolving funds. So it's a very positive situation from a financial standpoint, both for the project and for our ratepayers, because we've minimized any financial impact as a result of going forward with this capital project.
Interim Town Manager Tom Lynch was also in attendance.
But every single day there are hundreds of little decisions that go into, making this system and this process work to provide safe, clean drinking water for the residents of the village of Hyannis. And staff handles that on a daily basis, and there's no recognition for that. We want to celebrate today, but I also want to celebrate the work that is done every single day by staff and the water board. You've certainly planned well and executed a very ambitious and renewing capital plan. We have been replacing water mains, throughout the town. These two tanks, as Mark just indicated, are an important part of the entire capital plan. And you've also worked to keep rates down, which is important for our rate holders, but you know that there's a cost to doing all this. And water is clearly a precious commodity that we all enjoy and all value. And you're doing this for the residents of the Hyannis, and we certainly appreciate that. I've had the chance to talk to some of the design engineers and others who have described what the tanks are going to be, the innovative nature of this process. I congratulate you on being very meticulous in your planning. I know that when we talk about the little decisions that are made along the way, the planning board, the water board spends hours at that meeting, as does the staff preparing for it, to make the decisions that bring a day like this possible. So what I'd like to do is raise a toast of what I'm told is have a toast to what's the best water in town, and certainly it's going to the quality and delivery of the service will be even better when this project's completed. So congratulations to all who made that possible.
Deb Crow, chair of the Hyannis Water Board, told the crowd she's pleased to see this project moving forward.
And this is kind of a formidable year for this to be happening. The water system is actually 100 years old this year. And if you think about that, that's wonderful. It's 100 years old. If you think about that, you go, oh my God, it's 100 years old. And we're still using many of those pipes in the distribution system, including one of the water towers, which is also 100 years old. And so we're very pleased, and we think it's probably very timely, we don't want to push our luck too much, to be moving forward to getting some more water tanks. We took a very different approach than you may have seen. This seems to be the years of the water tanks in the town of Barnstable. And we've taken a little different tactic. We are constructing, I use that kind of a global we, two different storage tanks with pumping systems, one here and one over in the Maher Fields. And for those of you who don't know where the Maher Fields are, they're over almost in Yarmouth. That's a little bit of improvement of where our water tanks are now, which is there in the village of Barnstable. So we're getting a little closer to home. This particular design will give us a lot of flexibility because we can actually take one of these tanks off, thoroughly clean it, and have it ready to go back on before the summer hits each year. And so again, we feel that we're providing not only the storage that's needed, but a lot of the other characteristics that will make our water system even better. And in closing, one of the greatest things about this design is we didn't have to take a 230-foot water tower through the permitting processes in Hyannisport. And so consequently, we think that we've come up with a real win-win situation for the town.
And then the ceremonial groundbreaking ceremony was held, marking the start of the project. That project is due to be complete in fall of 2012. Later on Tuesday night, the Greater Hyannis Civic Association's Voices of the Village met for an update from the 5 task forces. Deb Crow, again in her role with the Civic Association, told the crowd of the effort's success.
We, as Bill has said, we are absolutely thrilled with what has happened. I think last April, when we started this out, we said to everyone, this isn't a bitch session. This is time to be part of the solution. And I'm really thrilled to say how many people actually stepped up to be part of the solution.
Neighbors Helping Neighbors was a big success. Task Force member Kathleen Manning describes information for those wishing to form their own neighborhood association.
We wanted to sort of share all of the information that we've gathered, so we put together 10 binders, which the Civic Association was good enough to fund for us. And our plan is to have to Xerox the first section, which is how do you get started. And we basically are trying to take you step by step with a flyer, a sample agenda, helpful websites, things like that. So we're planning a November 5th morning meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning at the Federated Church for anyone that's interested or thinks they might be interested in starting one in their own neighborhood. And we'll give you that initial section. After that, we thought we'll see what happens with that group, and if they do get started and want to come back for a second meeting, we will go through the rest of the binder and share that with you. We are also thinking that we might put one on loan in the police department and possibly the library, because since there are only 10 copies. So
drugs and violence were a big reason for some issues in Hyannis. Chief of Police Paul McDonald talked about his department's role in working to make things better.
The police department had to come up with some type of plan. We were doing a good job addressing most of the Part 1 crimes, but the level of violence associated with drugs, it was out there causing a problem. We had to adapt. We had to come up with something different. So the police administration worked with the committee. We came up with a plan that consisted of several components. And the first thing we wanted to do, we wanted to bring a noticeable police presence back down to Main Street Hyannis. We did that 2 ways. First, we opened a Main Street Hyannis station at 491 Main Street Hyannis at the corner of Main Street and High School Road. It's there for the police officers assigned in downtown Hyannis to use. The second thing we did, we put in a service priority package, and with the commitment from the town council, town management, we were able to get additional funds where we could put police officers on Main Street during the summer months when most of the problems occurred from 8 in the morning until midnight. The second thing we did, we have a liaison with the licensing board. I believe we have 2 officers that sit on the licensing board. They then developed a relationship with Puffer Bellies. Puffer Bellies, although there were some problems, it had a relatively professional management team running it. We worked out a situation with them where every week, prior to the entertainment, they had to let us know who the entertainment was. With that, we could run a check on who the entertainment was there a problem in the past venues, wherever they came from. If there was, with our Puffer Bellies, we'll tell them there's going to be a problem here, there's a potential to be a problem here, you are going to pay for the additional police officers. And sometimes we brought in additional 20 police officers, which they foot the bill. And since we did that, we've had no problems at all down on Puffer Bellies.
And since the street crime unit was established this spring, there has been no violent crime in the town of Barnstable. Chief McDonald urged residents to continue to call and report any suspicious activity. The Greater Hyannis Civic Association views Voices of the Village as a huge success and will continue to work with the task forces to ensure Hyannis is a safe and happy village for all to live and work. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.